Hey everyone, I just wanted to say some things. You might know there are so many subjects I could touch upon. There are endless subjects, in fact. You have no idea how many things I could make videos on. Really anything if I wanted to do it. But for now, I just want to make an observation on something. No fancy editing. Well, no editing, and just some statements, I guess. I was thinking about how when I see something anyway, that I disagree with, I have to try and make it more intellectual than it really is, because in this attempt to make sense out of nonsense, I have to rephrase and restructure and really just alter the argument or the sentiment presented, which I am viewing, visualizing, perceiving, and attempting to refute. I have to look at the implications of something for people who are unaware of the implications of their own statements. Right now, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to believe. I don't know how I'm supposed to react to certain things. I thought I was just normal. I thought the things which I find to be a problem, everyone else found to be a problem. I thought they were severely immoral. But it appears that society has found it socially acceptable, all these acts and all these beliefs, these behavioral tendencies. And so I'm left not really knowing what to do. I don't know exactly what should be done, what I'm meant to do, what I'm meant to say, how I'm meant to react, to respond, to communicate, to convey that something indeed is the thing which it is. It's a little troubling for me. I'm encountering all these different ideological conflicts, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to solve them. If someone myself believes what I believe, because it's true, it looks true, so I'm going to believe it, how am I going to approach opposition? How am I going to express myself in such a way as to fulfill my ideological needs? If I believe in something and I truly believe in it, I adhere to it, and I find that the world has so many problems today caused by an absence of reason in this specific category, what am I going to do in terms of my artistic or intellectual abilities to truly express how I feel? Am I going to be making these really critical, academic-like videos where I tear down a bunch of arguments from a certain political camp? Am I going to say something really sentimental and emotional and fragile that represents just the feeling of vulnerability in a situation that you have no control over in terms of all the issues which are coming at you? Am I supposed to say, this oppression should cease and I hope the best for you no matter what other people believe? I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because life was not something that has never been something that provides an instruction manual for us to utilize in order to actually gravitate and navigate across this globe. I do not know what to do, truly. And so I wanted to say that you might know I made a certain video on the feminist view of gender and feminism's relationship to gender and being gender critical and everything like that. And at the time of making that video, I was warming up to feminist arguments, but I wasn't quite there. I still wholeheartedly bought into gender ideology, and that means transgender politics and transsexual politics, all those sort of things. But for some time now, I think a bit over a month, 2 months, I don't know the exact date, I'm sorry, I have, of course, embraced gender critical feminist thinking, or really just feminist thinking, as we should call it. And I became rather well adjusted to what feminism has been saying and everything, and looking at how I held a lot of views in my early days in relation to feminism that would be considered radical feminist views. Views on prostitution, views on pornography, views on sexual objectification and the role of women and their relationship to individualism and so on. I had very negative views of the family. I still do. Very negative social views towards traditional living and these sort of social structures which are inherently reactionary and Calvinistic. I'm trying my best to understand, if I really adhere to all of this, why am I feeling so utterly hollow all the time? Not just now and then, but I just mean all the time. Why do I feel like there's nothing I can do to alleviate the burden dwelling within me in relation to my adherence to this, philosophy, because feminism is a philosophy. Now, obviously, I'm not a feminist because I'm a man, but I am pro-feminism. I'm a supporter of feminist ideology. I'm saying, how am I supposed to express that? What am I supposed to do? Okay, I'm a supporter of feminism. I have a lot of gender criticism. So what do I do now? Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. What does anyone do? You know, the thing is that you're surrounded constantly with all this negativity and this conflict and confrontation and crisis. It's really just moral, economic, social, political, psychological crisis. And you're seeing these TRAs and these anti-feminists and these right-wing misogynists try and just grapple to trans ideology and grapple to the politics of the family and marriage and tradition and natalism and all these cancers. And you're saying to yourself, well, how can they do this when it contradicts their other beliefs? Because everything derives from a center, a source, from believing certain things, which leads us to believing other things. It contradicts universal values. It contradicts the concept of consent, the reality of consent. It contradicts everything. I'm confronted with the fact that the worst crimes in the world have been committed, and people are celebrating that. And it contradicts everything they've been saying, because I thought they were against these crimes, and I don't know. Just the more I've been thinking about feminism, real feminism, and reading the authors and understanding a little bit of what they're talking about, and going to, feminist forums and all that, and seeing the kind of comments being made, it all makes sense, but I just can't believe that this isn't the default view. It's the same with a lot of ideologies. I think that anarchist communism is a universally appealing system. It appeals to whatever anyone wants of any ideology, even if they claim they don't want it. I mean, the reality is that it's caring for you. It's not subtracting from you. It's adding to your life. But I'm just trying to look at the implications of those who are wrong in their statements. The implications such sentiments possess sentiments with implications inherent to them that refutes itself. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking recently about how people who challenge the Holocaust hoax are branded as National Socialists. But I was thinking, well, this is a contradiction, because in order to be a National Socialist, you have to adhere to National Socialist ideology, and therefore that would imply that National Socialism is inherently, since it's talking about ideology, is inherently against causing the Holocaust, hence why one would be a National Socialist for denying it. So, are you implying that the Holocaust hoax didn't happen and that Hitler never tried to commit genocide or anything like that? I mean, that's actually the implication of that statement. But the problem is that the people who think they're leftists, who are really right-wingers, who are making that argument, don't have the self-awareness to realize that themselves would make them National socialists since they just denied the Holocaust, because if it's against National Socialist ideology to commit genocide, then the genocide obviously didn't happen. Like, what the fuck? Did ideology suddenly change? And also, if it did change, now you're against National Socialism. Well, it's a different thing. It's a entirely different ideology at this point. It makes no sense. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm trying to make sense out of complete and utter nonsense. Complete emptiness. Ideological emptiness. None of it makes any sense. I'm just believing what I see to be true. Something's true, it's true. You just believe it, you know? Am I supposed to believe in things which are barbaric and contradict my principles and everyone's principles and are evil and immoral? That's disgusting. I don't even know what people believe anymore. They can be claimed to believe anything whatsoever. I don't know, man. I'm just going through all these emotions and all that. That's just my little rant. But thank you for listening. I was thinking about that whole National Socialism Holocaust hoax analogy. It makes no sense. Maybe I'll make a video on it. I don't know for a fact.